Buddy, how you guys doing? Hey Julie. I'm gonna give it like one more minute, but today's theme is going to be Air Jordan. So we're gonna go through some Jordan 11s today. We just did an episode about the Jordan 11 25th anniversary and my 25 favorite colorways of that model. So if you haven't checked out the podcast episode yet, please make sure you go and do that. You go through the 25 best. My order might be kind of crazy, but it's my favorite, so you guys need to back up because it's all in good fun. So for the first shoe, we're going to go with one that we are all very excited for in 2021. So this box shape shouldn't need too much of an introduction. We love this, right? The Jordan 11 box is fantastic. This one is a little cooked. These 11s have seen better days. But we have the holy size of 12.5 Air Jordan 11 Retro. So, before I open the box even, the number one thing about this is the joy that you get from the shape and the utter heartbreak it is trying to open this shit and get it closed every time all the way through. So, as it comes out, she slides open. And then you have the plastic shield. Do we like these? Do we like these shields? I like the way they look, but trying to slide them back in there all the time is a fucking pain in the ass. So, trying to deal with that can be whatever. But we have the cool gray 11. These are a pair of shoes I wanted for so long. I didn't think I'd ever have them. Funny story, Ian over at Dead Stock Coffee was having a sale. He was selling some personal pairs of them. Guess how much I paid for these 11s in 2019? I'll give you a second. How much did Robbie pay? And they were like a 9.5 out of 10. I put most of these creases into this shoe. But guess how much I paid? This is all me, so I've been wearing these things right away. Half of what Mr. Vega said. I paid $125. He was asking $100, but I felt bad for paying $100, so I gave him $125. And they were damn near dead stock. These were icy until I got to them. And that's the way it should be, right? If you go and buy something 10 years, 9 years later, you gotta rock them. What's the point of not rocking them? You've been waiting for so long. Just throw them on your damn feet. But from 2010, let me know how much you feel this shoe, because I see these and my heart starts pumping. My blood starts pumping somewhere. Like in high school and college, this was a pair that I truly did think was unobtainable because I missed the shit. If you didn't have these in 2010, you're paying a good amount of money for these. Which brings me to the point of don't buy these on resale right now. If you see the 2010 versions on sale for like $250, $300, maybe, and they better be dead stock. But you just have to wait 1 year and you can have these for retail. They'll be super easy to get. Do not buy these before next year. Do not do any pre-orders from people saying I can lock you up 9 months in advance. Don't deal with that. Just wait until December 2021 and you will get them. It's so good though. So the obvious thing is the cut of the patent leather. So this is the older 2000s cut. So from what, 2000, they stopped doing it on, was it the Space Jams first? So from 2016 to like what, 2009? This is how Jordans were shaped. And even before that, like the Countdown pack, the CDPs had the lower leather also. And it's a toss-up which one I think is better. Like, you can't go wrong with either one. Depends on how you look at it. Some people want that as close to possible look, which if you look at the 95, 96 drops and you look at the retros, they're not one-to-one. So even though they're higher, they're still not the exact height we've been getting. So be a stickler if you want about patent leather height. Don't be a stickler. It's up to you. But the 11 is just such a good shoe. I love it. Totally cooked box. This thing has seen better days. And I keep accidentally putting it on the bottom of the pile, so it gets messed up even more. So I kind of just gave a little accidental little look there. So these are one of the few shoes I've ever hit doubles on sneakers. So I got the Space Jam on 2 different accounts on sneakers in 2016. I don't know what the algorithm was bugging on, but it threw me a bone. So getting these super easily was great. And I have a friend that hooks me up with sneakers all the time. So I actually gave him my second pair of Space Jams for free. So Alan, I love you. He got my second pair of Space Jams for free. How did I do with moving these boxes from Vegas to Portland? I sold a lot of stuff. So I went to Urban Necessities in 2014, and I sold every Foamposite. I sold I think I sold most of every Kevin Durant then. All of my SB Dunks got sold. I sold off a ton of stuff before I moved to Portland. So I didn't have to move quite as much, but over the past 5 years, it's been a problem. Again, we have the Shroud. I don't know how I feel about these. It's a pain in the ass to get them in all the time, but it's always a cool touch. This box is just bananas, man. Like, the packaging that comes with the Space Jam from 2016 is so nice. You have this galaxy print here. So first of all, you have 45. Oh, got the receipt still. You got to keep the receipt. But the Galaxy box, like, this shit's tight. It's a pain in the ass to get in and out with the sleeve and then the internal plastic. But they did a really, really, really good job on the Jordan 11 Space Jam packaging, which is from 2016. Feels like yesterday, but 2016 is a very long time ago. Higher cut patent, as I was just referring to. So if you look, how much higher the bottom is than the top. Here. It is a substantial difference. But the more I wear them, I do slightly prefer the higher mudguard. That mudguard with the ballistic mesh, and they're dirty. Like, I wear these shits. Like, these are not clean. Actually, they're a lot cleaner than I thought they were. But the Space Jam with 4.5, very, very cool. These, I think every shoe I'm going to show you today are the reasons why I don't buy 11s anymore. Personally, because I was fortunate enough to complete and pretty much have every 11 I've ever wanted. Now, once PEs start releasing, like the Jabari Parkers and the Chris Pauls, Oklahomas, Floridas, all the Jordan 11 PEs we've seen over the past 30 years, as those start dropping, I will keep buying those. But I looked at my Space Jams, I look at my Concords, I look at my Breds, and I'm just like, fuck. I'm super thankful. Like, 12-year-old me is losing his shit in excitement knowing that he has these shoes. And I hope somebody has a chance to give a kid a pair of Jordan 11s or to receive a pair of Jordan 11s as a gift. Because as a gift, nothing makes a kid feel cooler than a pair of 11s. 12s are better than 11s. Don't fight you. I don't agree personally, but I think a lot of people in this chat right now would agree that the 12 is better than the 11. The 12 is one of the most beloved sneakers ever. And that's just how deep Jordan brand is. Like, it doesn't matter if it's the 11, if it's the 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, there's so many models to go from that I think you can successfully navigate that argument for the 12. The taxis are elite, the cherries are elite, playoffs are elite, Flints, French blues. There's some really, really good non-OG colorways of the 12. That's a good battle. I'm gonna broach that to the boys to see what's the best pair. 11s or 12s. So who would win that argument? I might have to make a little bracket and we'll do it on YouTube. We'll have like Breds versus Flu Games and Concords versus taxis and stuff like that. That'd be a really cool argument. So I like that idea, Julie. Thank you. I got my first pair and I cried. Ropasai. What colorway did you get that made you cry? That's really cool. Not that you had to cry, but it's cool that you were moved to tears by the 11. Because shoes will do that. You get the right pair and it'll move you to tears. I cried over a pair of shoes earlier this week for different reasons. But if a shoe can move you, that's good design. If it can make you smile, if it can make you laugh, if it can make you cry, that's a cool design. Speaking of cool design, it's so cool how they did this box for the shoes that are within it. These are a classic. Probably the greatest shoe ever made. Like, you can make an argument for Concords 365 days a year as the greatest sneaker ever created. Like, it has a fighting chance every day of the year. You can't enter a conversation and say the Concords are the best and be laughed at. Like, even just looking at them. The Kobe 11s made you cry. They'll get you. I got the Concords for my birthday and I literally fell down in my shoe room. Salute you on that, man. Like, these made me feel some kind of way when I got them. 2018. Yeah, I bought these. I was like, did I buy these? Yeah, I bought these. These made me feel some kind of way. And the Concord will make anybody from your most diehard sneaker fan to your 80-year-old great uncle who just happened to like the Bulls in the 90s. Like, the Concord transcends sport. It transcends nicknames. Like, this is the Orca. This is the white and black. This is the tuxedo. This is the Boys to Men. This is the Concord. This is, like, it almost doesn't need a name. You talk about roses. A rose by any other name is still a rose. The Concord by any other name is still the Concord. Like, it's a flawless shoe. And if you're new to the community, they're called Concords because of the Concord purple throughout the outsole. It's just such a good shoe. Like, a 4.5 on the back again. So the Space Jams and the Concords both with the 4.5 on the back. It just makes you feel some kind of way. Like, you might be able to hear the Frank Ocean that I'm listening to in the background. It's like, go pour a bottle of wine, go put on some Frank Ocean, go pull out your Concords and look at them. Just, like, rock them. They are hard to rock with jeans. So, Sunnyside, DC, I would not wear blue jeans with Concords. Like, Nike Stories would think I'm blasphemous for saying that, because he loves his blue jeans. But I would wear black jeans, like black jeans, Whatever style you want it ripped up, you want it tapered, whatever. But black jeans with Concords, chef's kiss, definitely the way to go. It's just, I could stare at it, and the reason why the 11 is so cool is because you can do Cordura mesh up here, you can do suede, you can do leather, you can do patent, you can do brush suede, you can do anything with this up here. And there's varying levels of success when you take it through the low tops and the mids. Not all of them are created equal, but just about all of them succeed in looking good. Like the Concord mesh with the leather on the patent leather will never go out of style. This will forever be a desirable shoe. So let me spit free game to you. Like, this is kind of way past its prime in terms of buying it at a low price. This shoe doesn't depreciate. It might ebb and flow a little bit, but these were not expensive on resale back in 2018. People wanted $40 over retail for the Concord. Try to buy this shoe 2 years later. It is not $40 over retail. They are substantially more. Because the thirst, motherfuckers wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. with hot sweats, cold sweats, thinking about the Concord for no fucking reason, and go on to StockX, or they go to eBay, and they buy a pair at 3 in the morning with no pants on, just spur of the moment they wanted some Concords. Shoes like these and the Breds will always, always, always be desirable. So, if you can go to a swap meet and find a real pair, or you can do whatever you can do to get OG colorways of 11s on the low. If you can buy in low, sit onto them. Sit onto them for 2-3 years. Sit for 2-3 years. That'll give it enough time for the stock to be worn by people who wanted them. So quantities drop a little bit. Availability is substantially lower 3 years later, as it should be. And after 3 years, you can feel very confident it's not coming back for another 5. So you can probably get 8 to 10 years between 11 retros. Do the math, I'm not that wrong. So you give yourself a really big window to have your product be desirable for a long time. So OG colorways of 11s, that's free game. Go buy them if you can get them for cheap. And then brings me to the last pair. Yo, for real, are you in the attic? Yes, I'm in my attic. Let me give you some, so yeah, I have a little attic space. And we have some shoes here. So yeah, these come out this weekend too. If you're looking for a pair of these, that's a good shoe. So, I got those for the Mexican equivalent of $50 in size 11. Had to resell them because they couldn't fit. Sold them for $100. That's what's up. Cool. That's a pretty fucking fast year flew by. I don't know how I feel about the 90s Nike box. See, this box doesn't remind me of the 11. It reminds me of the 12. This will always remind me of the Jordan 12. But I do not record in here. It's a really narrow, long space, so I have to like crawl on my hands and knees, and it's not comfortable to get to. So I just spend fun time in here. If I have to fart, I come into here and I fart in here. So the Breds. I go back and forth between whether or not this is my favorite Jordan of all time. Like, colorway, model, the Bred 11, playoff 11, whatever you want to call it, I think is Robbie's favorite shoe. I've gone through 4 pairs of these. This is pair number 4. The CDPs cooked. Both pairs from 2012. I worked at Foot Locker and finessed my way into 2 pairs. Cooked them. These are the al fresco. I've only worn them one time. These mean a lot to me on so many reasons, on so many levels, for so many reasons. The 2012s, I went to so many concerts in the 12s. This thing is a festival heavyweight. You can wear the Bred 11s and get away with some shit. I mean, you're gonna scratch. I put some big scuffs all up through here, and they look beat. I mean, it happens, but they don't look bad. Like, you can wear the hell out of this shoe and be chilling. Can't wait for the cool grays to come back. Ryan, you're gonna have to rewind. I just showed off the cool grays first, so you can check those out in here, but I'm very excited for those. These, though, you can wear them to festivals. You can wear them to your homeboy's wedding. You can wear them to your funeral. The Bred 11 has no situation in which it does not work. The little bit of translucent red is just chef's kiss. It's so good. It's so good. They mean a lot to me because of the concerts and stuff. But Jordan Brand gave me these for holiday 2019? Yeah, a year ago. So, getting these in a box from Jordan Brand, like, that made me cry. It was a superficial goal, but last year I want a holiday retro through my work from a brand. And when that happened, I was like, fuck, I made it work. It takes a lot. Like, the website takes a lot of work. Running this Instagram with Nick takes a lot of work. The podcast takes even more work than I put into, because Nick edits it. So the amount of work it takes to give you guys a podcast is substantial. So thank you, Nick, for all the work that you do editing our stuff. I'm learning, so I'll start editing it too. But so many articles written without pay. So many things done for $25. So many favors, just like plugging stuff. Like, getting these in the mail, it legitimately made me cry. So, the Bred 11 has a very, very special place in my heart. I mean, fuck, I saw so many good concerts in this shoe. I'll make a list. You guys should think about it too. What are the best concerts you've seen in your favorite shoes? Because I'm sure you either purposefully wore a pair of shoes that you love to a concert, or they just felt right and you were excited, so you put on something fancy. Like, there's definitely stuff that has an emotional attachment to you that will be worth more than any resale price, will be worth more than any hookup. And that's the good stuff. So Ryan, if you're still here, I'll pull it back out. So we have Cool Gray, we have Bred, we have Space Jam, and Concord accidentally went back in the box. So these are my favorite 11 mids. I'm trying to think. The only ones I haven't bought recently were the Cap and Gown, Jubilee. Those are the only two I haven't bought recently. I think I sold the other ones. Oh, I see another pair from here I kind of want to get. But the amount of crawling you have to do to navigate this space isn't very fun. So I'm going to leave it there. We did a cool little 25 minutes. See, look, All-Star 2010 Alicia Keys and my Shadow 10s. What's your favorite concert? Maybe you went to a great restaurant in a pair of 11s. Like, people wear these shoes and they're so popular because you can feel like Michael, you can feel like Superman in the fucking 11. Like, I talked about this in the podcast about shoes making you feel some kind of way. And the right pair of shoes make you feel some kind of way. So ASAP Vince Staples. Oh shit. So in the last one of these I did, I talked about the Sean Evans Hot Ones. I talked about these shoes. And I couldn't remember what my favorite episode of Hot Ones was. It's the Vince Staples Hot Ones. So thank you, Ryan, for that. And you wore the Shatter Backboard ones. Like, not only is that shoe fire, Wale with the duck foams. Wearing those and those duck foams are funny. So I remember when they first came out, they were popular, but they weren't like end all be all expensive. Now they're kind of end all be all expensive. But those had an interesting life cycle. And Wale is the foamposite god, so that would have been cool. Well, you got the Looney Tunes on here on these. That is so much fun. But that's all I got today. I'm gonna keep it short. We're just doing 11s. Probably the greatest sneaker of all time. It's a very open-ended bullshit statement. But the 1 started it. The 3 kept them alive. The 4 was the first one to go international. The 6 was the first championship. The 11 was the greatest season ever. Like, you can't go wrong with any of those shoes. Because you have all of those Michael Jordan qualifiers, but then you add on top of that how popular he was at each of those moments. And I'm forever LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, but I'd be remiss and stupid if I didn't recognize what his shoes do to other people and me. Like, I was thinking about this, and I just interviewed the homie Space Camp Fresh for the podcast that'll come out next week. And he was saying how up-tempos were his thing growing up. And that was the mid-90s. And Michael Jordan was firing on all cylinders in the mid-90s. But you had up-tempo heads. You had penny heads. 96, 97, you had foamposite heads. You had all of their stuff that was in competition with Michael, but it was equally hot. Like, anybody with a mind wasn't clowning somebody for wearing black Pippins, black Pippin 1s, or, all black up-tempos. Like, you were not getting clowned for those shoes. You were just not fucking with Michael, and that's okay. Maybe you wore Jordans the next year, or you were a Knicks fan or a Pistons fan, and you didn't want to touch the Jordan stuff. Like, I love the up-tempo. I have a pair in black and the white. Like, the up-tempo is a fantastic shoe. Maybe you weren't into Nike at all in the mid-90s. Maybe you wanted to wear the Kamikaze 2. Maybe you wanted to wear like the Torsion Artilleries from Adidas. Like, there's so many good things with competition that trying to pin the greatest shoe of all time is like the hardest thing to do. Because you could not give a crap at all about basketball, and you could be the biggest Andre Agassi fan, and the Tech Challenge 2 fucking influenced the Yeezys. Like, that shoe can't be skipped when talking about all-time great designs. Same way you can't skip the Superstar. Like, there's so many ways you could take that greatest shoe argument and twist it to fit your favorite brand. But for me, the 11, 95, 96, MJ's back. That excitement is there. People were just able to connect with Michael Jordan and his footwear in a different way. And that's why I think the 11 is probably the best sneaker of all time. Thoughts on Puma and New Balance. I still don't have a pair of New Balances. I have not ever owned a pair of New Balances. So, if anybody here is listening and is a New Balance rep, what's up? Hook it up. I don't have one. So I don't know. Like, Mike and Nick love New Balance. A lot of people love New Balances. I've never really taken that route before. Puma, they are some of my favorite people right now. Puma's been showing a lot of love. The Kuzma stuff is super cool. So go check out a pair of the Flight, Court, Clyde, Drexler, whatever. It's a very long name. But the Puma Kuz Clyde Drexler, not Clyde, Clyde the Glide. Oh my God. Clyde Frazier. I cannot get my words right. The Puma Kuzma Clyde Frazier joints is a very, very good shoe. That Mario stuff that is dropped, very good. The J. Cole stuff, fantastic. I want to get my hands on some more Puma stuff. So, Northwest Slum, buy some New Balance 327s or 997s. So, everybody tells me to buy 997s. And I will at some point. Money does grow on trees in a way. Like, you can get shoes pretty cheap. So, if I can find a pair growing for $40, maybe I'll give it a shot. But I just don't care that much about New Balance. Like, there's nothing wrong with them as a brand. That's just completely me being a long-time Nike head and starting to branch out into other brands. I just haven't crossed that branch. I haven't extended that olive branch yet. I'm all about my Reeboks. I'll do a Reebok episode next. I'll do an on running. I have enough ons to show off a couple different models. So we'll do some of those. We'll do a Puma episode. The Bronze, Kobe's. There's going to be some good stuff. Obviously, Jordans for days. So we'll do more and more Jordans. But thank you for tuning in. Thanks for spending a half an hour with me. I love all this engagement about New Balances. Yeah, man. I mean, so again, there's so many good models from New Balance, like 997, 998, the specials, 574s, 992s, 1800s, 7200s. There's so many fucking New Balances. Just someday, one day. So if anybody here is listening from New Balance, I'm a size 12. You're more than welcome to send me a pair and I'll try them out. But thank you, everybody. Do an Air Max episode. I will 100% do an Air Max episode. Hopefully I hit on the Air Max 95 in neon tomorrow. That's the big luck. That's the big wish. If you walk into a new store, it's quite overwhelming because of how many models they have. Yes, New Balance is overwhelming. No, thanks for your time, everybody. I'm going to get running. Thank you for spending a half an hour with me. Thank you for Jordan Brand for sending me some of these shoes I showed off today. Be sure to cop these. Cop these this weekend. These are fire. The 3M in them, fire. Just thank you, Jordan Brand, for being Jordan Brand. And thank you, everybody, for listening and tuning in. Go watch a podcast episode on YouTube. Peace.